Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at a legendary module. This time it's for the Tier 10 French battleship, Republique. We're on the map north, and this is the build. The build's on the screen. It's an anti-fire build for the commander, and it's a pretty typical battleship build, with the exception being the legendary module. Now, that same module is in slot 6, which competes with rate of fire module, the range module. You've got the DPS increase for secondary and AA. And this legendary module provides the following for the French battleship. Minus 18% to main battery loading time, so faster reload. The base reload, or the rate of fire module that everyone can equip, only provides 12%, so 6 more percentage increase. Minus 13% to main battery turret traverse speed, exactly the same as the rate of fire module. It is a negative, though. It slows down the turrets, just as the rate of fire module. You're probably all familiar with this. And then this unique aspect for the French, minus 24% to the main battery maximum firing range. You get your range absolutely butchered with this legendary module, and I don't know that it's worth that. You know, you're gaining 6% better reload, and that's fantastic. This is the French battleship at tier 10. It has the best reload in the game, tier for tier, any big battleship with this kind of gun output. You can easily do 10,000, 11,000 salvos, every single cooldown, without fail, great gun velocity. But if I'm equipping this legendary module, I'm committing to dropping the range of my guns that can no longer be increased. This isn't a German battleship like the Grosse Kur First. I don't get hydroacoustic and a scout aircraft equipable on pretty much every single German battleship to compensate for lack of range. What you see is what you get. 19.8 kilometers is the absolute maximum I can go with the legendary module. And you really, really feel it, especially when a target's trying to retreat or you're in a crossfire position. One of the added benefits of playing in a battleship is the range of the guns. You can influence the game from almost anywhere. And yet I don't feel like I have that same opportunity any longer because the range is just butchered. Absolutely butchered. But we're going to play out the game and we're going to see how it works out. Enemy Montana sailing towards me. I was taking multiple enemy battleship fire, and I figured this was the only chance I would get to turn back around and angle against the enemy Grosse Kur First, Montana, Republique. All three of these great big battleships just going to shove rounds in. It's my fault. It's my fault. But it's desperation. You saw how I was so desperate to get in range of the Grosse Kur First at the start of the game. You probably saw it in this black Massachusetts. Don't know why the video skipped. It looks like it skipped like a frame or two. Whatever, sorry. But regardless, we run smack into a Massachusetts as I'm trying to retreat, avoid incoming fire. There is a Montana. He is, stationary. Looks like he might be backing up. And I'm just trying to pump rounds into the enemy. Just taking advantage of what the legendary gives me. And it should give me overwhelming firepower. Should give me overwhelming firepower. Ooh, we get a citadel. We do a ton of broadside. 20,000 damage. It's worth it. Musashi, what are you doing? Go, Musashi. He could have easily have been passed. I'm just want him to go. Just go. You're already in front of me. I can't do anything. I need you to move out of the area. But regardless, we're still alive somehow, and enemy Amagi is going to show a little bit more side, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Trying to get the target to leave the area so I could sail again safely out of this. I am still alive, though, and we're still moving forward. Now, there's nobody spot on the enemy team. There was a Seattle in the eastern side of the map. There's also a couple potential enemy DDs, with the majority of the enemy in between B and C. And with them being in between B and C, I really don't want too many enemies that can fire on me. So as we come around this corner, see the Montana. I think the Montana fired on us. Didn't get as much damage as he probably would have liked with that salvo. And I'm going to return fire, just as the friendly Yamato wipes out the Montana. So, completely waste of salvo. But if we're being honest with ourselves, I don't have the range to engage anyone else anyway. So, the reload probably is irrelevant. It would have absolutely been fully recharged and ready to go. But we're moving forward. We've got a couple friendlies. Oh, it looks like maybe an enemy DD finagle his way around to get over to B. Just for a split second, B point was contested, and I'm, of course, detected. So I would interpret it as there's a DD, he's out in the open somewhere, maybe even the Seattle, but I've got a lightning, and I've also got another friendly DD. Other than the western side, the northwestern side, everything is screened for me. So as long as I keep pushing forward, my teammates will just invariably move into the area that is vulnerable for my ship. That's why I kept pushing forward, even though situation awareness is screaming at me. There is something that is spotting you, Notser. You should deal with it. Yes, of course I should. I don't have range on the target, and the ones that I do, barely in range. Lightning conveniently sails into the Benson's area, and we're going to just angle and engage the target. Enemy Seattle's also there. Now, I don't have the kind of punching power that I used to have with this French battleship because the penetration. Everything overpins, and even if it pins, it counts as overpin for AP. So I don't expect to kill this guy. I'm hoping to, because there is a torpedo threat. But he's able to drop off, use his smoke, and avoid it completely. And yep, here come torpedoes. We're definitely taking a couple. So we just got to try and sail through. Looks like 2 for sure. Do trade very well with the Seattle, though. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. It didn't cause a flood. And I was totally spamming my damage control, ready to use it the second a flood was applied to the ship, or maybe even a fire. And once again, fire on the Seattle. The lure pin. Enemies set me on fire. And, you know, that's cool. I love being on fire. Come on. I want to be on fire with this kill shot towards the Seattle. Let's just do it, right? 17,000, but he's still alive. And we finally take a second fire. I put out the fire with my damage control. And this Benson is just continuously unloading his rounds into me, while a couple enemy battleships push forward, so I'm giving ground. I was really annoyed by the Benson at this point. It's like, I can't do anything. He's already sent torpedoes. He's just trying to harass me and be annoying. Maybe if I get range, he'll lose interest. I'm really lost at this point. All I'm trying to do is just survive. The game is definitely not decided yet. And I haven't done any kills. I want kills. I love damage, but I really love kills, because that means that the enemy team's fighting potential drops. And I definitely want that to drop, because I am not healthy enough for this. So, angle a little bit to avoid the torpedoes. It looks like they finally are ending, which is good. Don't really have to worry about that. Front gun rotates into position against the Gurosakura first. Elevate the gun, because he is giving ground to me. And I decided to just wait for both. I'm going to angle back. Oof, big shot by him. Going to use full heal. Try and get back. And we can't do that. We can't do that. I don't really have the health or the armor to absorb this. And friendly Massachusetts takes out the enemy. Enemy Amagi showing a perfect broadside. Aim just in front. His momentum will carry him just slightly towards it. Get a nice citadel. Confederate, and we're just backing up. And conveniently, these targets are actually in range. I don't have to go chasing them. That's one, just, I keep coming back to it. Yeah, the rate of fire increase is nice, but is it really that nice to drop 24% of your range? 24%! It's a giant number, and you don't have any way of increasing it. You know, maybe I'm getting 1 second, 2 second faster reload. Plus, I have adrenaline rush as well, and we've sustained a ton of damage. It's just not really worth it for me. You know, it doesn't improve the speed of the turret traverse. It really is just something that is slightly improving a slightly improved aspect of a ship. It's not covering up any of this glaring weakness. You know, a legendary that would transform my armor to 33 instead of 32 millimeters would be magical. That would have way more impact on whether this ship was tanky or not. They would never do that, obviously. But that's a good example of something that is impactful, is noticeable, and it doesn't feel so punishing. I just feel so punished taking this. Like, I deserve everything because I'm only getting 6% faster reload, but I'm losing, tons of range. So, legendary module's interesting, intriguing. Maybe it allowed me to get a couple more shots off this game than maybe I would have normally. But it's not something that's completely amazing. Like the Des Moines, the Zhao, the Yamatos, those are just great examples. The Conquerors, great examples of legendaries that really improve, transform, and they're worth the investment. This is just, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm really indifferent to its existence. It's better than the Montanas, but not by much. I would have liked maybe 1 or 2 more kilometers left on the gun range. I feel like that would be a little bit more fair than 24%, but we got a game. We did tons of damage. We helped our team win the game. That's all you can ask for. Hopefully this was a good example for anyone who's considering it. I look forward to testing more legendaries in the future. Hope you all enjoyed this. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.